I'm coming from Gadigal land, so I also want to acknowledge the traditional custodians. And I think for me, as an Aboriginal woman and somebody who's, worked across a variety of sectors over my professional career, including, non-government and government, and where I am now in terms of Deadly Connections was I got sick of asking for a seat at the table. I built my own table. And that I think is really, really vital in terms of from a women of colour perspective, but also from a First Nations perspective where, we know the difference that Aboriginal community controlled organisations make. And often when Aboriginal people are employed by other agencies, whether government or non-government, it can often become tokenistic. So I know, when I had so much to contribute and I had so much to offer in so many of my roles, but I was never taken seriously, or I was still in positions of leadership and I was told what to do rather than being asked to contribute and being asked to provide my expertise as an Aboriginal woman, as an expert of my community. It just wasn't like that. So I think, like Juliana said, why not now? I guess I want to touch a little bit on, the criminalisation of Aboriginal women and the way that criminalisation, which is often as a result of trauma and disadvantage, the trauma and disadvantage is criminalised. And once our women are criminalised, they're forever locked out of opportunities. And like Brenda said, it's not through lack of agency, it's not through lack of capability, it's through lack of opportunity. And once you have a criminal record, that excludes you from a number of opportunities, economic and otherwise. The system's designed as, I guess, a follow-on of the White Australia policy, where we continually kept out of opportunities, and that's basically what the criminalisation of Aboriginal women do. And we're the most imprisoned women across the globe at the moment. In comparison, even to the US, our women are incarcerated at a much higher rate. And a lot of the times when we're talking about opportunity, positions will be created at a lower level, entry-level positions. And what I would really like to see is I'd like to see a lot more women of colour in leadership positions, because we're leaders in our own community, and, we know how to get things done, and we do things when we're given the opportunity. So for me, it's so important on so many different levels, and I think I've touched on the majority of them at the moment, but it's just, in the patriarchal society, I mean, the comparison for Aboriginal communities is that we are matriarchal societies. So we take our bloodlines from our mothers and our mothers' sides. And I come from a long line of strong Aboriginal women. You'll always be too loud for a world that's not intent on listening to you. And that was something that I've always gotten throughout my professional career, that I'm too loud and my voice, I'm too strong, but I'm not going anywhere, and I'm going to continue to empower my community to try and transition us from surviving to thriving. That's what I want to see.